Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and if you thought I was gonna stop talking about the Jedi Survivor atrocity of a PC port, you were sadly mistaken. I would still like to thank EA for providing me a copy of the game, but man, does this game have a lot of issues. And a note from the Jedi Survivor team on the PC version of Star Wars Jedi Survivor has been posted on EA Star Wars' Twitter, and man, I find this post very kind of insulting. Let's talk about it. So let's go over the entire statement if you guys haven't seen it. So it notes, we are aware that Star Wars Jedi Survivor isn't performing to our standards for a percentage of our PC players. It should be noted that if it wasn't performing to your standards, the game shouldn't have been released. You shouldn't have charged $70 for it. They knew exactly what they were putting out to the market. So that's just something that is said over and over again when it comes to atrocious PC ports, that it's not performing to our standards. Well, your standards don't exist. They really just don't exist. Maybe for the development studio, the standards exist, but the publisher, whoever makes these decisions, they have no standards. They want your money and that's it. Let's call it what it is. And for a percentage of our PC players, that should go to probably 100%. It's probably 100% of your PC players. They are experiencing some sort of issues. Now, those issues range from the game being unplayable to it just having very hampered performance. To me, Jedi Survivor is a playable game, but as somebody with an RTX 3080, I should not be dipping to 22 frames per second. It just should not be happening, and it regularly happens while playing this game. And you're talking about a sustained 22 frames per second. I'm not just talking about, 3 to 4 seconds. I'm talking about whole sections of the game dipping down to 20 to 24 frames per second. And for some people, that is going to be completely unplayable. And I would say for the most people, honestly, if you're a ardent PC gamer, dipping down to 20 frames per second when you're used to 60 frames per second experiences, yeah, that's unacceptable, especially with higher end rigs. In particular, this is back to the statement, in particular, those with high-end machines or certain specific configurations. Okay, this next paragraph is what really I find to be insulting. For example, players using cutting-edge multi-threaded chipsets designed for Windows 11 were encountering problems on Windows 10, or high-end GPUs coupled with lower-performing CPUs also saw unexpected frame loss. Wow. Does that kind of not shift the blame to the consumer, the people that paid money for the game, that, it's the people with higher-end GPUs coupled with lower-end CPUs? Let's just ignore people with RTX 4090s and the highest CPUs on the market. Let's just ignore everybody with capable PCs that are well over the recommended system requirements, like myself, that are still dipping down to 20 frames per second. Let's just ignore all that. No, it's people that have multi-threaded chipsets that should be on Windows 11, but they're playing on Windows 10, or people with high-end GPUs coupled with lower-end CPUs. That may be the case for a minutia of the instances. Sure, that's always going to be something. It's a bottleneck. Whatever. But why are you pointing this out? There are people that have high-end rigs, $4,000 gaming PCs, literally $4,000 gaming PCs that cannot maintain 60 frames per second. I saw Mudahar's tweet of him running the game at 1024 by 768 at the lowest settings and couldn't hit 60 frames per second. This game just cannot hit 60 frames per second. You shouldn't even lower the settings. You should just play it highest settings possible that your build can probably run. And just, if you're gonna play this game, you have to accept you're not getting 60 frames per second consistent. It ain't happening. I'm sorry to tell you, it ain't happening. Even if you lower the settings, that's not gonna help at all. But the fact that they, in this statement, are kind of shifting the blame that, it's because of you using Windows 10, or, it's because of high-end GPUs coupled with low-performing CPUs. Again, that is a small minority of people that may have configurations like that those are causing the issues, but you can't blame a bottleneck when people with the highest end CPUs on the market, highest end GPUs on the market are still experiencing problems. Myself, a 3700X and an RTX 3080, not the greatest rig in the world, but well above the system requirements for Jedi Survivor. But It continues, the statement continues, but that paragraph was the part that annoyed me the most. They continue, while there is no single comprehensive solution for PC performance, essentially kind of throwing in the towel right there. The team has been working on fixes we believe will improve performance across a spectrum of configurations. We are committed to fixing these issues as soon as possible, but each patch requires significant testing to ensure we don't introduce new problems. Thanks for understanding and apologies to any of our players experiencing these issues. We will continue to monitor performance across all platforms and share update timing as soon as it is available. My oh my. The thing is, when a port is the level of Jedi Survivor, when a port is the level of The Last of Us Part 1, in the case of Last of Us Part 1, there was a reason why Sony had been pretty good with providing review copies of their major titles, but conspicuously, Last of Us Part 1 people didn't get review copies. Why was that? Like, let's not beat around the bush. We know exactly why it was. Jedi Survivor, in the case of this game, when it's this bad, when it's this much of a train wreck, yo, I don't even know if the PCs they got in Respawn were running this game well. Like, yo, you know this game was a bad PC version, and it's hilarious to me because I feel like almost they knew that it was coming up because I believe it was either the EA Star Wars Twitter account or Respawn's Twitter account. One of the EA related accounts tweeted out something like, make sure your drivers are up to date before you play Jedi Survivor, and this was a few days before release. I don't know if that was an inclination of them being like, alright, let's make sure they're at least, ready to play the game, they got their drivers and everything like that. But to me, looking back and reading that tweet, I was like, oh, did they know? Obviously they knew. Again, when it's this bad, it's impossible not to know. And I read a tweet from another developer that said something like, oh, it's not, the developers aren't lazy, but developing for PCs when you have this amount of different configurations is very difficult. And I understand it's very difficult, but, and I don't think people are really blaming the developers that much. It's more of a, delay the game if it's this much of a train wreck. You can delay the game. That's always an option. And I don't know who's in charge. It's obviously the publisher. They had a date. They need to get the game out on this date. But there's been so many times in the past where PC versions of a game came out 6-8 weeks after the console release. If that's what needs to be done, do it! Just delay the game. But, the reality is a lot of people are going to still buy this game. Star Wars is a massive IP that, the people that are complaining online, myself included, what is this really going to do at the end of the day? I still think that, we're going to get crappy PC ports. And I saw somebody, label all of the, bad PC ports. It was like, there was Last of Us Part 1, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, Wild Hearts, and I'm forgetting a couple games, Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy was pretty bad for a lot of people, myself included, at launch, and it's just it's wild right now, and statements like this, it's always the same thing. Release game is broken, release statement, fix game, hopefully in 6 to 9 months the game is pretty good, and that's not even a guarantee at this point that the game is gonna be pretty good. It's just a bad time, but hopefully they get the game fixed because fundamentally, gameplay-wise, this game is tremendous. I know it also has a lot of issues on consoles as well, probably not to the extent of the PC version because the PC version is just an abomination, but the game itself, it's obvious that there was a lot of work put into. Respawn probably poured their heart and souls into the development of this game. Yes, performance is an absolute nightmare, and that does deter the experience to a great degree, but you're talking about a game that is so much bigger than Jedi Fallen Order, so much content to this game, so much side content, so much additional things to partake in, and I know Jedi Fallen Order had additional content as well, but not to the extent of Jedi Survivor, and if they can get it fixed, let's hope in a year, and then it's 60-70% off. Buy the game then, if you want, because it is a tremendous game when you assess the game itself without the performance issues, but the performance issues are legitimately game-breaking for a lot of people, and rightly so. I mean, some people, I don't even know how I'm still playing this game when it's dipping to 20 frames per second, and that's not hyperbole. A legitimate, cutscenes especially, I'm dipping to 18 frames per second, I feel like, on cutscenes. It's literally so choppy, and I'm just bro, what is going on here? And again, I said it in the previous video, my standards for PC ports at this point, PC versions of games, are so astronomically low to the point where, I will take the bare minimum just because I've accepted defeat. I've literally just accepted defeat that we are never gonna get consistent level PC ports across the board. But there's a certain level where, I can't go any lower than this and Jedi Survivor has well exceeded that point of going lore. But that's my 2 cents. I think this statement is just pathetic. It's embarrassing, to be perfectly honest. Especially that second paragraph, I think, is absolutely embarrassing. But nonetheless, that's going to do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.